Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com, and today I have two cards to share with you using this brand new stamp set designed by Syberia for Maker Forte. This is called To a Friend, and look at these beautiful sentiments and this image. Today I'm going to make a slimline card using that long sentiment and this girl, and then also an A2 size card, and that one I'm going to make as a one layer card. So let me show you what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to stamp this image with her big hat. I love this image. It's so fun to color too. I couldn't resist making a number of cards with this, and so I stamped it out using my Copic friendly black ink, which is the Remarkable ink from Maker Forte. And then I am going to stamp out some of the sentiments for this one. This is the A2 card, and I stamped out You Make Me Smile and the little hearts that come in the set as well, and I'm using a red ink for this. So once I have everything stamped out that I need, I'm going to work on the slimline sentiment, and I'm going to mask off the bottom portion that says Coco Chanel. I'm just going to stamp the sentiment itself. Sorry about that, Coco, but it wouldn't fit on my card the way I wanted it to. So just masking it off with some mint tape here, and then going to stamp it up with some VersaFine Onyx Black. And don't forget to take off that tape before you stamp it down, or you'll get a big black smudge on there. I'm going to stamp it a couple of times to get a really nice dark impression, and then I'm going to cover it with some clear embossing powder and then heat set it with my heat tool. So there we go, and now I've got all my pieces ready to go and we're ready to color. I left a portion of the Copic coloring in this video so you could just see how I colored this up, just to give you an idea of some ways to do this. I'm using my E50s, E55, 53, 51, and 50, and I'm giving her a little bit of a tan. She does look like she's been out in the sun. She's got her sunglasses on, and this actually reminded me of Alexandra herself, who's the owner of Maker Forte. If you're familiar, she wears big hats like this. And the funny thing is I did not remember this until I went back and looked at the pictures, which I found a picture to share with you. But the first time that I met Alexandra at Creativation was in 2018. And at that time, she had purple hair. Now, I did not remember she had purple hair. She has had a number of changes to her color. She's gone back to blonde right now, so I really didn't remember that she had purple hair, but I decided to color up this gal with some purple hair. And I think that was just my remembering, maybe. So I'll show you in just a minute, but for the background, I also use this Happy Flower stamp set, also designed by Syberia, and I'm going to use it to stamp onto the background all around that sentiment. Now I started out stamping these pretty light with some ballet slipper ink, and then I decided to go back in with a darker ink later. So I'll show you that as well. And I'm going to color up the hat here with some pink flowers to match those happy flowers that I stamped in pink. I didn't write down the numbers, but it is R81, R83, and R11 that I'm using for these flowers. And I wanted them to match that background. I gave them a beautiful yellow center, and I'm just blending these out. Very simple Copic coloring here. Really fun to color, as I mentioned before, and super easy. It makes me want to go to the beach or the pool. Either one would be fine. To color up the hat, I'm using some shades of neutral gray. So I'm going in with the N1 first, then N5, and blending that together with the N3 and back to the N1 again. I'll do the same thing on the brim of her hat as well, just blending this together to make it look like it has a little bit of a reflection to it. In reality, I think probably a black hat would be really super hot, especially here in Arizona. So maybe a straw hat would be better. But I think on her, it looks really good. So I'm just going to color this up all the way with the N1, use the N5 to get the darker edges, and then blend out with the N3. And there you go. That is our hat. You might notice for this one that I blended more than normal. I wanted to get a really smooth transition on this hat to give it more of a dreamy look, I guess. So I did work on it just a little bit longer than I normally would. But look at that. Look at the results. I think it was worth it. For the purple hair, I'm starting out with BV04. I'm going to blend some BV02 and I believe BV00. Just some simple blending on this one to get that purple hair. I also think of my daughter. She loves to have different colors to her hair sometimes as well, and so it's really fun to do. So there's the hair, and now I'm adding the darker pink to those flowers. I just stamped over the top of them with the darker honeysuckle color, and now we're ready to put this card together. I'm just going to color the insides of those flowers yellow to match her hat. So see, the flowers are pink, the insides are yellow, and now we can glue this panel to the Slimline card base. Now Maker Forte has some pre-made card bases and Slimline card panels, and that really saves a lot of time. So I will link those below if you're interested, because I really do love having these on hand when I want to make a quick card. And here I'm just adding some foam squares, and I'm going to add her popped up onto that card, and I'm adding her just a little bit further down so that I can trim off the edge there. You'll see I turn this over, I trim it off so it matches up perfectly, and that way you can read the entire sentiment. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. Now I'm adding some gems. These are the Celtic green gems, and they're one of my favorite. I'm going to attach them using these little tweezers. These are the perfect size, tiny little tweezers. On the edge, they're kind of curved, and they're very small, perfect for picking up these gems. And so that's what I'm using today. I am just going to add 3 little clusters of 3 gems around here, just like so. And I'll attach those with my liquid glue and my magic wand gem picker. So now we're ready to finish up the A2 card. That is a 1-layer card. So I cut out a mask of that image. I've already colored her up, as you can tell, and I put the mask right over the top, and now we can do a little bit of ink blending that's really going to make her pop. I'm using some mustard seed distress ink to start out. I'm just going to slowly build the color, and you'll see I have a scratch piece of paper to kind of dab some of that initial ink off so I don't get a large smudge of ink. Instead, I just get a really light glow around her here. I'm just going to take a peek and make sure that that's dark enough. I think it needs just a little bit more. So slowly building the color. And once I'm finished with that color, I'm going to go in with some blue color here. This is the Mermaid Lagoon, I believe. And this is going to match the color of her hat. You'll notice I already colored her up. I did not show you the coloring of this one because it's very similar to the first one. I just used some different colors. But I'm slowly building this color on as well until it is just the way I want it to be. Nice and smooth, really pretty, and that's going to dry back beautifully. So I'll peel off that masking paper, and look at that. She has a glow around her. She does look like she's been spending some time at the beach, right? I left the flowers white on this one, added some yellow gems to the center of her yellow flower, and now I'm adding a yellow frame all the way around. This was just cut with a scalloped die cut, and there we go. Just going to make sure that's on straight, and that is our A2 card that is mostly 1 layer. I just realized that adding that frame kind of disqualified it, but that's okay. I will add it to my top folding card base, and look at how fun and beautiful this is. Wouldn't this be fun to send to your girlfriends if you're going on a vacation, a girls' night out, a trip to Hawaii? I don't know. There's a lot of things this could be used for, maybe going to the beach. But this really does make me smile. And look, here's the Slimline card, and there's our A2 card. Just a couple different ideas for you. I think this is such a fun set, and I loved creating with it. I hope you did too. Here is the picture of me and Alexandra when we first met at Creativation 2018, and I was so super happy to meet her. And now I am really happy to be able to design with some of her products, and I just love it. So there's a closer look. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help with YouTube. And if you're interested in any of the products, I have listed and linked them below for you to check out. Thank you so much for stopping by today. It's been really great. I really appreciate your comments too, and your likes and thumbs up. And we'll see you next time. I'll be back real soon with more. Bye-bye.